As I mentioned yesterday, a motion calling for gender-neutral language to be banned has been passed by the Australian Senate. One Nation Senator Malcolm Roberts put forward a motion during the week in the upper house, supported by the government, good, that says that terms such as, wait for it, chest feeding, lactating parent and birthing parent should not be allowed in government literature because such language distorts biological and relational descriptors. Fantastic stuff. Joining us now from Canberra is the leader of One Nation, Senator Pauline Hanson. Senator, great to see you. Thanks for coming on the show.
Oh, my pleasure always. Thank you, Rowan.
Now, Senator, can you tell me what was the motivation for this bill, apart obviously from watching lefty lunacy on Outsiders every Sunday morning?
Well, the fact is, it was Senator Roberts' bill, notice of motion that he put up. The fact is, we're fed up. We are fed up with changing the identity of who people are. You know, we can all look in the mirror, see our crown jewels every day, and we can determine whether male or female and how we want to be. But how they go about and saying this gender identity, gender fluidity, it's confusing children, it's confusing people. As I said in my speech about marriage equality, what we will see will happen afterwards is that they will try to take away the meaning of mum and dad, grandma and granddad, because you're actually upsetting those families that have two mums or two dads, and of course we can't have that. So it was about, you know, drawing a line in the sand. As we did, it's okay to be white, but the coalition voted against that. And let me tell you something, Rowan. The coalition were going to vote against our notice of motion, and it was actually the backbenchers that retaliated in the room that morning said, no, we're going to support this, so they had to support it. And you should have heard the hoo-ha that came out of Janet Rice, the Green senator, and she was not happy about the coalition voting for the notice of motion.
Well, fantastic. I wish I'd seen that. And you know that you're on a winner when the Greens are getting very upset. You know, whatever it is, you must be on the right path. But there's a serious point to all this, Senator Hanson, and that is that you said, you know, you made the point that one day they'll be trying to ban the words mum and dad. Well, they're already doing that in America and Britain, and in schools are actually doing it now. And there's this very, very serious issue behind the laughs, and we all laugh about it, but there is a very, very serious issue at point. Now, does your ban here, or Malcolm Roberts' motion, does that apply to schools as well, to education, or is it just within government departments?
Well, government departments, they can't push this, you know, you're not referring to a gender identity and that type of thing. So anyway, we'll just see where it goes from here. We'll keep an eye on it. If not, we'll put pressure on them again. And I call on the people. You've got to put pressure on too. If you think, oh, this is just laughable, don't worry about it, it'll go away. I'm telling you, it won't go away. And then one day you'll never be able to reverse it. So to be considered to be able to call grandma, granddad by your grandkids, you know, the whole fact is that your husband, is that your wife? All this is going to go. I don't believe we should be heading down that path at all. We know who we are. And I've got to ask the question, Rowan, what difference does it make? What difference does it make to anyone's lives if you carry the word, oh, that's my mum, that's my dad, that's my husband, that's my wife? What is the issue here? We are men, women, girls, boys. What is the problem?
Well, that's a very good point, and the problem is if you look into hard left ideology, neo-Marxist ideology, the sort of ideology that the Greens and the left of Labor all flirt with, it's this idea that the family unit is somehow wrong and embarrassing and they want to get rid of it, and it is very, very serious stuff. So well done to One Nation for actually tackling that issue and having the gumption to bring it up in Parliament. May more strength to you. Senator, I want to ask you about another issue. The economics writer Terry McCrann argues today that JobKeeper may have been too successful. He suggests that big businesses, and he chooses his words carefully, were kind of overindulgent, to put it mildly. Can I ask you, isn't it un-Australian to be given a handout by the taxpayer, but then pocket it when it turns out that you don't actually need it?
Well, it was. Look, it had to be done at the time, Rowan, and I fully supported that, because Australian jobs had to be secured, and these people that found themselves without a job, the government had to pick up the pieces there, and I totally agree with it. What would happen with some businesses? Some were rorting the system. They were late in putting in their tax invoices so that it would flow over to the next month. They were getting the payments. One business said, a bakery, said they received $100,000 in the month. They rang up the tax office and said, we don't need this money. They said, oh, don't worry about it, you've got it. So anyway, they've really were annoyed about that, because it said tax dollars. We've got other businesses that were propped up that didn't need that prop up. I am ready to see it come to an end, because I've just travelled right throughout central Queensland up to Longreach, out to Charleville, Roma. And there are jobs available, but the businesses screaming out they can't get anyone to come and to take up these positions. Now, by continuing JobKeeper, they're not going to go off that welfare payment, because under JobKeeper, and the government didn't think about it properly, they were paying people more to be on JobKeeper than what they ever got in wages, and that was the problem. So it needs to come to an end. People have to realise taxpayers cannot keep funding you to sit at home and do nothing, and it will encourage businesses to actually then pick up your game, put on more people to work, and that's the way the economy works.
Exactly. Now, thank you so much, Senator Hanson, for coming on. Just very, very quickly before we go, there's rumours that Meghan Markle might run for president, and she'd be running against Donald Trump. Your thoughts on that?
You're kidding, aren't you? My God, this woman who doesn't want to be a part of the firm, the establishment, this woman who doesn't like, what are all those people here for? I don't want to see all those people. I'm sorry, to run for president, you've got to be a people person, and she's not it.
Well, you certainly are, Pauline Hanson, and that's why you've been so successful for so long. Thanks so much for coming on Credlin tonight.
My pleasure. Thanks, Rowan.